All right, guys, CRF250F. This is Honda's entry-level trail bike, more usually considered a play bike or a farm bike. This particular one has tusk bags on it. I guess the owner of this bike was gonna attempt a BDR on his dual sport with these tiny bags, but then came to his senses and realized it wasn't the right idea. This does have aftermarket grips and bars, Cycra handguards, and it has a Baja Designs headlight. This thing is as good as it gets for headlights, but it does take a month plus to get it because they're all made to order. But it is pretty sweet. It does have conventional forks and a non-adjustable rear shock. It's the 250F in Honda's line. I believe the F stands for family, so 110F, 125F. That's what it stands for. Air-cooled, fuel-injected. It's a pretty sweet bike. The owner of this is doing a better job washing it, but he did subscribe to the whole it's a dirt bike, it should have dirt on it type of thing. Still running the stock Scorpion XCs, which honestly are terrible tires. This one is actually not one of my bikes. However, I did own it previously and sold it to the owner, and one of the few bikes I regret ever selling. So we'll head up on the trail and see what we can see with it. All right, guys, CRF250F, air-cooled, fuel-injected, conventional forks. It's actually a super fun bike. Obviously, this is a beginner bike, right? It's a beginner-friendly bike. But as an advanced rider, I love this bike. It's so much fun to ride, it's crazy. And as I said in the bike check, I used to actually own this bike. It's one of the few bikes in my life. Woo! The front brake is so much better than the front tire can handle. It tucked a couple times there. This is one of the few bikes in my life that I regret ever selling. And it's not because this is a fast bike or you could do anything on it type of bike. I mean, you can do anything on it if you have the skill. I just friggin' love this bike. It's so fun. There's something so fun about a slow bike that you can just wring its neck and just have the most fun. So definitely an amazing beginner bike, but for a advanced rider, especially like for me right today, I'm with a buddy who I taught how to ride a motorcycle. He's got less than 10 motorcycle rides lifetime. And he would ride this bike when we would go out, because he bought a Bashan Bras Recon 250 initially. He would ride this when we would go out and just have so much more confidence in it and just love the bike. So for me, it made sense to sell it to him to get him that confidence to expand his motorcycle riding. So that's why I sold it to him, but man, do I love this bike. Alright guys, so what are we talking about here? 21-inch front, 18-inch rear. It's fuel injected, so you don't have to worry about jetting the bike no matter where you are, but it is air cooled, right? This is I would allude it to a play bike. It's low on power, just kind of grunty and torquey, not much of blow. If you want to, like today where it's dry, if you really want to get the front end down, alright guys, the hill test. Here we go. The suspension is so much better on this bike than it should be. I know like conventional forks seem like they're old technology, but they really, the main reason moving away from them was just because they're wider at the bottom. So no speedometer for the crawl test, but that's off throttle. The bike has basically brought itself up the hill. That's pretty impressive. The rear brake does leave something to be desired, but the front brake is adequate. This bike is so much fun. I might have to buy another one. I don't know what else to do. I friggin' love this bike. Have the owner of the 250F out here with me. I'm on my beta, but you can watch him as beginner as you can be, and this bike completely, see, he needs to stand up there. Less than 10 rides on a bike, and granted, the Bashan Browse, right, not the greatest bike ever built, but this bike completely transformed his confidence and his ability to just tackle things that he thought he couldn't do. And that's really, this is probably, if you're a full-size and adult, that CRF250F is potentially the best beginner bike there is. Come on. The bike just creates so much confidence. And yes, he's making mistakes, right? He sits too much, his elbows are too low. But past that, he is doing so much better. And that's the thing, right? Like I showed you guys in the, I guess, the beta 200 video. Like training is where I find most of my time now. Just go right. Training is where I spend most of my time. And it's just like, when you have a guy that gets a bike that just completely transforms what he thinks he's capable of, it's rewarding from a training aspect as well as from the rider aspect that, you know. So, this I'm not sure of the seat height, but easily I'm 5'9", I can flat foot both feet on the ground on this motorcycle. So if you're, I would say 5'8", 5'7", 5'9", you should be able to do that. Any taller, yes, but any taller, you also will probably be pretty cramped because it is a smaller motorcycle. It doesn't stand up like a full-size off-road motorcycle. Here we come to the 50-mile-an-hour section. Obviously no speedo, so we don't actually know, but guys, welcome back to Moto Tests. I hope you like that CRF250F video. I love that motorcycle. Honestly, I'm probably gonna buy another one. The bike is, the reason I bought the bike, right, I had a lot of new buddies coming into riding, and I thought, okay, if I buy a slow bike, it'll slow me down. I can stay with them. And why I'm teaching them how to ride and bringing them out on trails and stuff like that. And the bike is perfect for that. It did exactly that. But also, I just had so much fun riding the bike once I bought it, and I love that motorcycle. So, is it a beginner bike or an advanced bike? Honestly, it's a beginner bike, right? It's a farm bike, it's a play bike, it's a beginner bike. But for the reasons that I just said, it is a super fun bike for an advanced rider. Don't buy it and think you're gonna go ride motocross, but if you just use it for, you know, riding with your slower buddies, riding with your kids, riding with your wife, blast. And then, is it good? Is it a good trail bike? Yeah, it's confidence inspiring. It is slow, but you can put both feet down. And I've been through hairy rock sections and stuff like that with that bike. It will climb anything and just tractor along, and it's super fun to ride. Would I buy it? Yes, I bought that bike previously. I'm the first owner of that motorcycle. I then sold it to my buddy, and I am considering buying another one because I love him so much. Is it worth the money? The bike is a little bit more expensive than I think it probably should be, but it is a Honda. That's just part of the game. Thank you for tuning in for another video. You also got to see the Beta 200 on its last official trail ride before I give it back to the dealership. So that will be missed because that's the best trail bike I've ever owned in my life. If you guys want to see me take this old, it's not old, it's brand new, KO TD 125 up to the test grounds, let me know. We'll take that for a trail ride. This is my wife's pit bike that she's going to learn how to ride on. So thanks for tuning in to another episode of Moto Tests. We'll see you on the next one. Who knows what we'll be riding?